This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. Delighted today to be joined with Otto Wallin. It's a nice Friday evening. You're back out next week. Another outing for yourself. Other than that, how's things? How's everything been?
Everything's good, thank you. I've been training, working on my game, and finally got a fight now next week. So it's exciting. The hard work is done now, sparring is done. So now it's just the fight left.
Definitely, absolutely. And obviously fighting in Atlantic City to start off with. A place I guess you could say holds a little bit of a special place in your heart, being your US debut. Obviously that debut weren't really one to really remember, but I suppose it's nice to return there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. The first fight I had in the US was there. It ended after the first round. We had a clash of heads, so it was a no contest, unfortunately. But hopefully it'd be something better this time. And yeah, Atlantic City, there used to be a lot of big fights out there.
Yeah,
Really big fights, and Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti had their fights there. So I think Mickey Ward is going to be at the show, so that'd be nice to see
definitely.
him out
Yeah.
there.
Getting a nice old tear up to impress him then, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be
Yeah,
good. Actually, him and my trainer Joey, they sparred when they were younger, so they know each other pretty well. So it'd be nice to see
definitely for sure. And obviously, it being your first
him.
fight this year, coming off of the AJ fight just at the back end of 23. When you look at the time off that you've spent, sort of how crucial was that, I suppose, for yourself?
Well, it was important because the fight didn't go my way, obviously, and I wanted to take a few months for training, work on my game, try to improve, watch the fight, of course, see what I can do better. And yeah, I feel like things have been going well. I've been working on those things that I see that I should do better, my offense and my defense. And it's just good get a fight now. Can't overlook this guy, obviously, and handle him, get a good win, and then hopefully get something bigger in the fall. But yeah, I can't overlook this guy. So
Definitely. Yeah. I suppose when you look back on the AJ fight and you look back on that time off since then, I suppose how long did it take, I guess, for yourself to almost sort of get that confidence again? Because obviously that would have been a tough defeat for yourself, obviously being a stoppage defeat as well. So was it a couple months to sort of get over it and get the confidence back?
it actually was. I think right after the fight, I got down on myself a little bit. It was a tough loss, so it took me a little bit to get back into it. But once I got back into full training and started sparring again, kind of got over that. So took me a little bit, but I say that yeah, like I said, when I started full training and sparring again, then kind of forget about that.
Definitely,
Yes,
yeah.
look forward. Yeah.
Definitely. I suppose you don't want to focus too much on your losses, but just sort of when you compare how the Fury defeat went, where you probably took a lot of credit from that fight, was there? Do you think there was a feeling different because the AJ fight was one where you probably it would have liked to have gone better than it would have? So do you feel like the feeling was slightly different when you compare the sort of the after effects of that?
It was different. It was different because the Fury fight, it was more of a win than anything for me. I got a lot of respect for it, and people appreciated my effort, and it was a close fight. The AJ fight, it wasn't so close. I felt like he was one or two steps ahead of me that night, and he put on a good fight. They had a good game plan. So so it was disappointing, obviously, and but that's how it is. You fight the best. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and I think what's most important for me is the experience
Yeah,
and try to get that experience and just work on my game and see where I can improve really. So
definitely.
that's losses are hard, but if you take it the right way, work on things, then it can be a blessing in disguise.
Was partially that sort of a bit of surprise from yourself, would you say? Where because going into the fight, I think you was very confident if you base it off of the last couple of performances. So was partially a bit of it as a surprise why it was sort of how the fight went.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was gonna win the fight. Going in the fight, I was confident. I felt good, and yeah, it didn't go my way. So I mean, you can say that was a surprise.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I thought that I was gonna be able to do a lot better than I did.
And I suppose when you mentioned there about the experience and how much experience you gained from being a main event on a Saudi show like that, and that was a massive card to top that bill. How much of that experience do you think that holds steady in the positive light, I guess?
I think it's really good for me to get that experience, not just being on a big card like that is great, but also fighting one of the best fighters in the world. That's really really good experience, and that's where you can really see, like I said, where you can improve. And I mean, some things you do well, some things you can improve on. So that's really what I take from it.
What did you make of I suppose, the Saudi fight week? I guess or everything in general, because I've experienced them fight weeks working in, and it's quite tiring. Did you sort of feel like because the heat and everything like that? Like, how did you find the whole country in itself?
I didn't feel the heat because we were mostly inside,
Yeah,
so I didn't try to spend any time in the sun or anything. But all in all, I had a great experience out there. The Everybody took care of us really nicely. The staff at the hotel, the promoters, the people around the event, everything was really good. They took really good care of us. And Turkey, he talked to us fighters before the fight, a couple of days before. He said that whether you win or lose, I want you guys to come back, fight here again. And that's really big. You never hear that in boxing from promoters. So I think that what he's doing for boxing is really amazing. It's a
yeah.
good thing, and they're looking out for us fighters. I had to go to the hospital after, and first class service, everything, and nothing really has been. Nobody never took care of me that well, so I'm really appreciative of that.
Do you think that also does give you confidence where he says if he wants to see you again, regardless of your name and what you've done in your career so far, regardless of what may have happened at that fight, that there is a likely chance that you're going to get a call again for another big fight in Saudi, getting through next weekend as well.
I think so. I mean, I'm in a good position. I only lost to Fury and Joshua, so I think that I'm gonna get offers. I hope so.
Do you think? Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Yeah,
But do you feel like that there's part of you that there is also something to prove as well now that you still feel like I can 100% mix it with the top of heavyweights of this game.
for sure. I think that people underestimate Joshua a lot, and I know from being in with him that he was very good. He was fast, he was strong, and good technique, good counter puncher also. So Joshua, he's a very good fighter, and it's easy to underestimate him. And he lost to Usyk, of course, and Ruiz, but stuff like that happens. But he's come back really good, so I got a lot of respect for him, and I think that he's got a lot of good fights left in him.
Yeah, and I suppose for yourself, being a heavyweight as well, and where you see this landscape is moving, it must be nice that I'm sure there's a crop of fighters and there's guys that you look at that that you want to fight, and that's possible that you could fight them as well.
Right. I think that I still think that I'm one of the top guys, and I want to prove that. You said that maybe I have something to prove, and I think that I want to prove that. I lost to Joshua and Fury, but there's a lot of fighters out there that I can beat, and I'm gonna show that. And you know, I think that there's good times ahead for me.
Definitely, yeah. I was watching a couple of previous interviews that you've done with yourself, and a name that you mentioned was Dillian Whyte. Obviously, previously scheduled to fight him in October of 21, that didn't come off. And I still feel like probably there's a little bit of unfinished business there because I remember when the fight got cancelled, there was a lot of dubious signs when that fight did get pulled in October of 21, I believe. So ideally, that could that be a name for yourself that you'd like that to have that again?
For sure.
Yeah.
It's funny because everybody keeps asking me about it, and
Mhm.
then there's like I'm calling out Dillian Whyte, but
Yeah.
I'm just answering the questions. But no, I would love to fight him. I think it's a good fight for me, and at this stage, I think it's perfect. I get this fight Saturday, gotta handle him. Oh, Friday, gotta take care of him, of course, and then move on to something bigger, and that could be a fight with Dillian Whyte. I think that's a really good fight for me, and something I want to do.
Uh, not trying to put words into your mouth as you were saying there, but do you
Yeah.
still hold some, I suppose, resentment, I guess, from the fallout of the fight before, even though it was, obviously 2.5 years ago, but still with how that went, I guess.
I moved on from it. No, he's a funny guy. He pulled out our fight, and then he's always up to something. Whether it's I don't know, pulling out of fights, doing drugs, I don't know, but he seems like a funny character.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I suppose just a last one from myself, and I'm sure it'll be a question that you'll get a lot from many interviews that you do. But now you've obviously shared the ring with AJ, he's obviously got a big fight against Daniel Dubois coming up as well. How would you see that fight going? Basing it off the experience that you've had with AJ, I guess.
I think that if Dubois comes out like he did in his last fight, got hit with a lot of shots from Hergovich. If he does the same with Joshua, I think it's gonna be an early night. I think that Joshua is gonna win within the first 5 or 6 rounds, if that happens. But if Dubois comes out with a little better defense and can hit Joshua with a few good shots, maybe make him doubt himself, then I think it could turn into a good fight. But it all depends. If we all seen Joshua's power with Ngannou, so if he hits Dubois with those kind of shots and keeps hitting him, then it's gonna be an early night. But I think that Dubois is a good fighter, so if he can come out and land a few shots himself, then it could turn into a good fight.
Definitely. And I suppose the last one from myself, getting through, let's say you do get through Friday night, not overlooking it, but what is the plan, I guess, for the next 6 to 12 months for yourself, where, as you say, want to be back in the mix, I guess?
For me, it's really winning this fight Friday, and then hopefully get something bigger in the fall and just take it from there. Just taking it step by step, and just trying to improve with every fight. So
Definitely,
I'm
for
not
sure.
looking too far. I'm not looking too far ahead. I'm just taking it step by step right now.
Absolutely, for sure. Otto, as always, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Really, really good to catch up with you. And yeah, all the best for next Friday, mate. And do appreciate taking time to speak to you, mate. Top man.
Sounds good. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, mate.